Welcome back to the Scatterpot podcast. Welcome, Spotify viewers and listeners.
Yeah, we're on Spotify now. Scatterpot
Yes.
podcast. And with us being on Spotify, there are no scatter plots on Spotify.
Yeah, so
So we are an untapped market right now.
yes. So if you
Yeah, we're officially live on Spotify. I know 2 people have asked me personally if we're on Spotify.
go artificially inflate our numbers, please.
Please. I'm gonna do it right now.
Just make 1,000 accounts, 1,000 bot accounts.
Yeah. Let's see if we can pass our extreme YouTube numbers.
Yes.
Dude, our YouTube is... Yeah, and granted, we only post the podcast episodes. We definitely need to think and work on different content. But, speaking of...
I don't think you can even do a segue out of that.
I can't. Speaking of something everyone's been waiting for. Huber, you had the Chick-fil-A... Not Chick-fil-A, the Popeye's chicken sandwich. Is
yes,
that
I
correct?
did.
So, I have to ask.
Yes.
Okay, no, just give me your basic thoughts, and then I'll ask my question.
I got the spicy one, and it's way spicier than Chick-fil-A, which was awesome.
Okay.
But they have their own spicy sauce. It's called Black and Ranch, which is
Mhm.
really good. It's just it's like it's just spicy ranch,
Yeah.
and so it's like they on the bottom bun they put that sauce on it,
Okay.
and they put 2 pickles just like Chick-fil-A does, the
Mhm.
sandwich, and then the bun on top, and that's that.
So I have... Okay, now this is going to be tricky because you're not a chicken connoisseur. Did you go to the one right over there
In Lawrenceville.
in Lawrenceville? Okay. Like, you're not chicken... But is the chicken itself, not the spiciness of it,
The chicken itself.
is the chicken itself better, on par, or below Chick-fil-A? I used like 3 different metaphors right there. Better, on par, or below.
I'd say the chicken.
Like the chicken, and I know I'm asking a tough question because like
It's weird.
I'm a chicken connoisseur, so I like, and I like Popeye's chicken, but like, is it like the same chicken as their chicken, or is it like a special chicken for the chicken sandwich?
It's special chicken for this chicken sandwich.
Okay, because like the thing is I like Popeye's chicken, but not as much as Chick-fil-A's chicken. Granted, Chick-fil-A's chicken sandwich and nuggets are pretty similar, but once you get to the strips category, that's a different.
I haven't had strips in forever.
Dude, those aren't. That's not the same chicken.
No, it's like I don't know what.
I don't like it as much. The nuggets are essentially just a smaller sandwich, which is why the
Yeah.
minis are so great.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I called last week's episode?
No, I don't.
It was called "The Future of Star Wars," brought to you by Waffle House.
Sponsored by Waffle
Sponsored
House.
by Waffle House. This episode's sponsored by Popeyes or Chick-fil-A. I'll take
Either one.
I'll
Either
take Dude, hold on. So, it hasn't gone up yet, but I've applied for us to be on Pandora as well.
one.
Pandora, like they asked all these questions like about our podcast, and they're like, "How many people download your podcast?" And I'm like,
Download.
"Who's downloading a?"
Who downloads a podcast?
And I'm like, an average podcast episode download, I'm like 0, and then they're like, "How many like overall?" And I'm like, 0.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm like, I mean.
I don't know what your game is here.
And then they also had a thing that said, "What's your freshness?" And I'm like, "What? What is?"
Define?
And it just said wintergreen or timely. And I'm like,
What?
I literally had to Google what it meant. They're referring to like, are your podcasts like semi-current event-ish? And I'm like, why don't you just say, like, can you ask that in not a
Yeah.
hipster way? Like, yo, bro, what's your freshness?
It's like,
In case you're wondering, I put us under timely.
oh.
Because we cover hot button news like the Popeye's chicken sandwich like 2 months after it's gone down.
Oh, yes, dude.
We are timely. But yeah, so back to the chicken.
The chicken.
The chicken.
I dare
If
say.
you served it to your mother with a plate of spaghetti, would she be impressed?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd say that the spicy one is better than Chick-fil-A spicy one.
But I like spicy food, but I'm not a fan of Chick-fil-A spicy sandwich as much.
It's just not spicy.
Well, yeah, like
It's like
so when you're saying that, it's like that's why When you said you got the spicy one, I was like, dang it! I'm like, I wanted like the core, like, but you couldn't tell from like the chicken texture.
I feel like I feel.
Could you eat this sandwich every day?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes, I can. I feel like though the thing is, Popeye's is like a fried chicken, like the yellow fried.
They do fried chicken,
but like Chick-fil-A is like it's fried too, but it's not.
I
like
know
that.
what you what you mean by that, but like
I don't know if it's
well, they're both fried, but like
yeah, they're both fried.
Popeyes is like deep fried. like Song of the South deep fried. Gosh, yeah, no, man, I need to try it as the chicken connoisseur that I am. Like
I got there at 10 in the morning, so because I ended my class at 9:45, I didn't have my afternoon class.
They're giving out the sandwich like that early.
Oh well, let me. I got there at 10.
Mm-hmm.
It opened at 10. I walk in. They said they'll be ready in 20 minutes. So they open at 10, but they haven't prepped. So I wait 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then I order, and then I wait for 10 minutes to get my sandwich.
Dude, I'm probably going to try to swing by and try one tomorrow, maybe, if I can. Maybe. I don't know. Depends on how I'm feeling. Because, you know how it be. Oh, I didn't say, speaking, wait.
The buns are cold.
The buns are cold.
Like, I guess it's because I got, like, one immediately and took it out of the fridge or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But the chicken was hot, but, like, the buns were, like, not cold, like freezing, but, like, you could feel the coldness.
That's all that brings, is the bread buttered to high heaven like Chick-fil-A does?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Dude, you did.
Well, because they put that sauce on it, the black and ranch.
Yeah, but like the top bun, you could have gotten a peek.
No.
Because I didn't know you could do this. You can order a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich without the butter on it.
Mm.
I didn't know that until I got the Chick-fil-A One app like forever ago. And as I'm like putting my order, they were like, if you've never used the Chick-fil-A One app before, it's you choose your entree and then they give you options to choose like what you want, and they have like buttons on what you want on or off the sandwich,
right.
And you can go like, I want this, I want that, but like the things you can take off the sandwich are the pickles and butter, and I'm like, you can take butter off the sandwich?
I guess they just make you a completely new sandwich.
That's like, I feel like that's taken away half the fun.
Did you know? If you ask for unsalted fries, they just put them back into the fryer because when it fries fries the salt off. So you're still technically eating salted fries, and they're not fresh. They're just reheated. They're microwaved.
You know, Chick-fil-A life hack: if you order a plain sandwich, most of the time they have to make a fresh one. It's a life hack. Dude, it's great because like everyone's like, oh, I got a sandwich, and it's like one of the older ones that they've had like on the ramp with the heat lamp on it for a while. But like, dude, when you ask for one with no pickles, they almost have to for the most part, unless they still have some.
There's like
from lunch rush. Yeah, dude. Chick-fil-A.
I think the funny is you and Daniel that like hated pickles on the Chick-fil-A sandwiches when we ate at high school.
Yeah, no, I still hate the pickles on the Chick-fil-A sandwich.
Did you both agree that like the pickle
no.
made the sandwich like totally bad, or was that just Daniel?
Okay, so I think him and I both agreed on this. The pickle being on the bread at all is like
ruins the juice.
It ruins the umami of the food. And the reason why I say that is because even when you remove the pickles, the bread still has the pickle juice on it. Daniel and I are on the same page on this one, so it was probably both of us, because him and I are the same about this. We both hate it. So the pickle juice is still there.
Yes.
So if you're like someone like Daniel who doesn't put any condiments on his sandwich,
he's very white. Yes.
You get to the center of the sandwich where the pickles would be, and you still like get the taste of the pickles.
Oh, who was it? They like drenched it in mayonnaise.
That would be Jacob Shelton. Jacob Shelton loved mayonnaise.
I was like, oh, dude, no.
I drenched it in ketchup, which is better.
I don't know.
Well, no. But here's the thing. The only reason I drenched it in high school is because to counteract the pickles. I'd only drench the spot where the pickles were, and then I'd put like a sliver on the top, because like the thing is that the ketchup doesn't fully overpower the pickles, but like it's enough to make me like, oh, that's a really good sandwich, like sort of deal.
I'm very hungry right now.
Dude. Do you want to just pause the episode real quick? Go get Chick-fil-A, come back?
There's not a Chick-fil-A near here, is there?
124?
Oh, but that's one. Someone home?
Yeah, my mom.
Oh.
My mom.
Someone's, or not someone, 124 is kind of like just out there, though. I've noticed that, though. There's no Chick-fil-A in Lawrenceville other than DGC, as far as I know.
Oh, no. There is.
There is? Okay.
Just not this side of Lawrenceville.
Okay, I was like...
If you go to the other side of Lawrenceville by the movie theater in Gwinnett Medical, there's one literally right next to Gwinnett Medical.
Okay, yeah.
And that's still Lawrenceville, so...
Yeah.
So, like, this side of Lawrenceville, not really, but, like... Here's the thing. 124, even though the traffic is so bad, Chick-fil-A is, like, the right amount of 124 that I'm willing to deal with. Because, like, here's what I do. The part that makes me not want to go to 124 Chick-fil-A is taking the U-turn on 20. That's my least favorite part. But after I get that U-turn, it's easy enough because you just take that left on 124. You drive. You don't even hit the butthole of 124. You just turn off on that little church road that, like, right before the light.
Yeah.
and you're there. And then when you leave, you just take that road back. Wait for the green arrow. Turn left, and you're home free. And like, so that's why when I eat on 124, I either eat at that Chick-fil-A or Moe's and Panda, which I can take that one road.
Yeah, that one.
That one little sneaky road where I just go
the roundabout.
Just go. Just sneak. Dude, I've been eating a lot of Moe's recently. My chair can attest to that. Yeah. What was your favorite episode of
when they talked about food for 13 minutes.
When they talked about food for a long time.
Well, that was our segment of food. Boom, there you go.
I forgot we have the new format.
That was our segment about food.
That was our...
Hope y'all enjoyed.
Actually, we're going to continue this while we're talking about food. Speaking of food, I did something
I thought you were about to segue into like some other topic.
No.
What other topic do we have that you can do?
No. So I'm going to talk about something I did yesterday. Something even though I could have done this whole time, but I've never done. Yesterday was my first Wednesday off during a school year. Mm-hmm. Like, because of course I get breaks off and stuff like that with work.
Yeah.
But my first Wednesday off since the cruise.
Because that's a year ago.
Almost 2.
Yeah, almost 2.
Yeah.
Coming up here.
So, like, that's just every Wednesday, except during, like, breaks and stuff, I was up at the church, and I finally got a week off, and I'm like, what do I do? I felt weird. I was like, what do I do with my day? Mm-hmm. And then I figured it out. After class, hung out with Sam for a bit, went over to the theater over here by me, and just... I entered the theater at 1 o'clock, left the theater at like 9 p.m. No, 9:45 p.m.
There you go.
I saw 3 movies.
All 3 movies as your week.
Yep. And actually, so I didn't know this. A-list resets on Friday morning. So technically, there's 3 movies I want to see this Friday. Well, that come out this Friday. So technically, I could see 6 movies this week.
In 1 week.
But yeah, I saw 3 movies yesterday, and the 3rd movie, I treated myself and got food for free.
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. It's because they gave me like all those $5 rewards, and I had like $30 worth of I had 25. I cashed in $25 worth of rewards, and my bill was like, it was like $23.20 after getting food and a drink, and they were just like, and that after your gift cards, that comes to a $0. And I just gave them my card because I'm like, I'm gonna put the tip on this, and they're like, oh, thank you, because you can imagine what they were feeling like. This guy just paid $0 for his meal, and so yeah. Dude, and the 3 movies I saw,
Konosuba.
I wish. No, the 3 movies I saw, the first one was really good, second one was fantastic, and the 3rd one pissed me off royally. Can you guess the 3 movies based on those descriptions?
Was it that one where the woman lead called men sexist for not seeing a movie?
That was the third one. That's Charlie's Angels. That's the third one. Dude, it's bad.
Is it really? I heard. That's.
Well, so like here's the thing. Like I could understand why people would like it, but like, especially after watching 2 movies before it, and like really enjoying both of those movies, and then sitting through. It was funny. It was the shortest movie I watched by over half an hour. Okay. And I swear it was the longest one I watched.
It's always like that.
Like, I swear it was. Like, the first movie I watched was 2 hours and 40 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Second movie was about 2 hours and 20 minutes long. This movie, well, Charlie's Angels, hour and 40 minutes. And I was just like...
like Cats.
Cats hasn't come out yet. And I'm taking you to Cats. We're going to Cats together, my dude.
$300 million production.
Dude, I know, right?
$300 million.
And the cats look like that.
They look like Sonic.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, they're bad. It's funny.
Did you see Sonic?
No.
Does it come out?
No, that comes out Valentine's Day.
What in the world? Why would they release it on violent?
Gotta go fast.
Yeah, what? Why would? What is their thought process for that date?
I mean, how many times are you going to release a movie on Valentine's Day?
I don't know.
Once every 7 years. So you got to take advantage. That movie and the new Kingsman movie are all coming out on Valentine's Day. And there's another movie coming out on Valentine's Day. And so I'm just sitting there. I'm like, dude, people are going to be like all lovey-dovey while I'm trying to just see Sonic. I'm just like, shh. Calm down, everyone.
To watch the movie.
I'm trying to watch Sonic. No, yeah, but it's actually funny. So, when I went to go see the 3 movies, the Cats trailer played before each of the movies. So I got to listen to it, and I got to watch it 3 times. And each time I was like, dude, how is this a thing? How is this a thing? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
The Cats there?
Well, no. The idea of making the Cats movie like this. I understand. No, it's not. It's based on a play, and the play looks like that, but that's because there's actors on a stage doing it. But even then, they use prosthetic makeup. And they claim they didn't use CGI on these cat suits, and some of them I believe that, but there are other times when I'm like,
there's some of those.
That is a CGI cat. And so I'm just like, I was sitting there and I was just like, oh my. And then
are there any real cats in the Cats?
Technically, all of them are supposed to be real cats. Yeah. You would love cats. You like cats.
I have 3 kitties, but those are not cats.
Are you sure?
I've seen some weird looking cats, and I'm pretty sure those are a subspecies.
That's our future, bro.
Genetically modified cat girls.
Elon Musk and his cat girls thing. It goes wrong. It goes really wrong.
It goes very wrong.
It goes very, very, very wrong.
It succeeded, and then there were some complications.
Yeah, no. I mean, of course it worked, but then all the weebs just started procreating with the cats, which just created more cats. And then eventually the humans just died out, and it's just...
And the cats took over.
The cat species. Yeah, but no, so I had the movie theater's chicken tenders. They're not amazing, but free chicken tenders.
Honey mustard?
Ketchup.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, what?
Honey mustard's perfect with chicken tenders.
Dude, ketchup's perfect with chicken tenders. Very good. Dude, they also gave me like these garlic biscuits. And I was like, what on earth? And I'm like
Red Lobster?
No. Those are cheddar biscuits you're thinking of.
Yeah, those are cheddar.
But like there were these little biscuits about giving. I'm like, what on earth? And I ate it and I just went I'm like, that is garlic. And I'm like, it's good though. Because like it's just the immediate taste of garlic punched me in the face, and I was like, whoa, they also gave me coleslaw, and it took every bone in my body not to just skeet. Just yeet, especially watching Charlie's Angels of all things. I was like, I wanted just to go skeet. Yeah, no, but I really didn't enjoy that movie, and I don't want to talk about it because I'll just get angry. It's bad. It's really bad. And the other two movies I watched, Doctor Sleep, really enjoyed that, and then Ford versus Ferrari I finally watched, and that was really good. That was my favorite of the movies I watched. I am gonna laugh because my brother really wants to see that movie, and he's not gonna listen to this, but I'm going to spoil the movie for him. But if I told you the ending to the movie right now, you'd laugh it off and think I'm joking.
Okay.
Like, hold on. Do you care if I spoil it and I'll bleep it in the episode?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tie. That's my guess.
Okay, so. Oh gosh. All right, so I'm gonna bleep this whole section out. But essentially, so Ken Miles is in the race. Yeah, I'm also gonna censor my mouth and all that stuff. Ken Miles is in the race. They okay, and then Ford. So Ken Miles, but due to a because he like slightly the car. And then he's like
and that's it. That's it.
And I mean, they have some epilogue stuff after that, but that itself is how the movie ends. And so I'm gonna say that I'm gonna say like a summary of that to get, and he's gonna be like,
oh yeah, sure.
No, what I'm gonna say to him is, and I'm gonna censor. I realize that would be a really long beep, so I'm only gonna censor like important words. So that means
Ferrari.
Ford. It's a really good movie though. I really enjoyed it. Like, I'm not a NASCAR guy or a race guy in general, but like those races, I was like, dude, legit. There was a scene where like one of the other cars was like going, and I'm literally sitting there, and they keep on showing you their RPMs and stuff, and I kept on going like, he's pushing it too hard. It's like he's like he needs to slow down.
He can't handle that type of heat.
I'm like, dude, that when anything like that makes me like, when a movie like that makes me say something like that to myself, I know it's a good movie. When I'm looking at like the what is that called?
Speedometer. There's the RPM is revolutions per minute.
Yeah, but like, what's that meter called?
I have no idea. I guess revolution meter.
The revolution meter.
I don't know.
But I was just like, he's going too fast. And then like, also, this isn't really a spoiler, but Ford are jerks. The people at Ford are royal.
Yeah, dude, we're Americans. We don't take kindly to strangers.
Well, no. They're just jerks, like, to like Matt Damon and Christian Bale's character. They just are like absolute buttholes. And you're just like, wow. I'm like, I don't want Ford to win.
Speaking about not wanting Ford to win,
it's not so easy, is it?
There's going to be a recall on some Fords because of something in the engine. That's just a random fact. That's the random fact of the day.
No. That you don't get out of that easy. All right, so let's move into our sort of. Actually, do you want to? Do you know that larger topic you wanted us to talk about?
Which one? The SS and MP, or?
Yes, SS and MP, or do you want to talk about SWJFO and
I have no idea what that is.
PS?
I don't know. Oh wait. Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Which one what do you want to go with first? Do you want
to? Let's go with the SW first, because then that'll lead into the MP and SP.
Oh, okay, yeah. You didn't say the full acronym, so I got a little.
Okay, so enough with the cryptic language. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order came out Friday.
Yes. I'm actually really curious on your thoughts on this.
Yes, I think it's an extremely good game.
Is
extremely good game. Story is pretty good. Your character's name is Cal Kestis. It's either Kestis or Kestis. It's one of those two.
Gosh, I'm gonna look this up now.
I'm trying to think of something I can say. It's 5 years after Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
So you survive Order 66.
Cal Kestis. Kestis.
There's a lot of you meet. You'll meet a fallen. You'll meet the Inquisitors, but that's on the cover of the game. You can already tell that. It's a very good game. You go to there's like 5 planets in total that you'll go to. I'll say if once you look at the time you've played, like it feels like you're playing forever. But when you look at the amount of time you've played, it's not as long as you think. Which is fine. But there isn't really much to do after you finish the story because you can't do the last mission again.
Wait, is it sort of like how every Zelda game has been, and you have to reload before your last save and something like?
Yeah, so like you would complete the mission, and then you cannot do that mission ever again. You can do everything else. You just can't do that mission ever again.
You can not. Okay, I was about to ask, like, is it sort of okay? Oh. Okay.
You can start a new journey and then go up to that point
Dude,
again. But
that sucks if you're like a person who wants to like collect everything in a game.
Oh, there's nothing in that.
Really? Like are all the missions like that, or is only that like?
So it's open world like Breath of the Wild, except it's limited. Does that make sense? So it's what Breath of the Wild did. Like
it's like Monster Hunter World.
Yeah, it's a set place where you can go.
Okay.
Inspiration came from Dark Souls. So in order to save the game, you need to go to these meditation areas, and then you meditate, and you can save there. Yeah. But it respawns enemies.
Okay. Yeah, no, I know that means that level of barking means it's Keelan who's home. Dude, he's been in such a bad dog recently.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, he just like hold on. So like today, I leave for class. My class is at 8 a.m. I get out. I'm home by like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock ish.
Poop and pee everywhere.
He already pooped in the living room, and I'm like, I was gone for like 2.5 hours. Yeah. And like the thing is that, gosh, also if you leave the gate open to get up here, he will come up here and he will poop. And Keelan's always like, it's because you guys leave the gate open. I'm like, that doesn't justify him pooping up here. It's like that doesn't mean he's exonerated.
He's like, oh, I'm up here.
It's like you guys got to close the gate and it won't happen. And I'm like, maybe there's another way it won't happen either.
Yeah, we can go your way too,
dude. No, it's like saying it's like. He wouldn't have killed someone if he didn't have the gun. It's like,
oh,
it's like, wow. It's like that's a wow. Thank you. It's like that's a great thing. I mean, yeah, he's innocent now. I mean, whoever sold him the gun is to blame.
Yes, clearly.
So like that, she's always like that, and so every time he like poops downstairs, I'm like, it's like the SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And like the other dogs, Feeny and Barkley, they poop too. But the thing is, they only poop if you leave them for like a long time. Like they're.
Speaking of long time,
what is the long time?
So I'm house sitting.
Yes.
I'm actually house sitting 2 people. No, I'm house sitting 1 person, and then I'm dog sitting another. And the same week of Thanksgiving.
So you're house sitting for 1 family and dog sitting for another family.
Yeah. So
okay, cool. That's fun.
Sleeping at 1 and then going over there like once or twice a day.
Did I ever tell you about like the sweetest dog sitting gig that I ever got?
It was at the people who paid you like a ridiculous amount of money for like.
And they said I could just stay at the house too, and their house is like really nice. And so literally, I just spent like 3 days just chilling in their house, just watching Netflix, and every once in a while, like, here you go, dogs. And then I'm just wiping my tears away with the cash that they gave me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man, I'm so upset. How will I ever recover? Yeah, and it was funny. It was like 4th of July, and so like people were texting me like, "Kanan, you coming to hang out with us on 4th of July?" And I'm like, "No," and they're like, "Why not?" I'm like, "I'm dog sitting." Like, that sucks. I'm like, "No, it doesn't." And I'm like, no.
Trust me, it doesn't.
I'm like, "This is pretty sweet, actually." I'm like, I'm in like a huge house all to myself.
Yeah.
I'm just, dude. It was. Gosh, but honestly, besides like, I hate dog sitting except for that family. And for understandably, it's like the family was like, "Hey, Kanan, here you go."
There you go.
And I'm like, Yeah, but dog sitting normally is super tedious because you have to drive over there, get in.
Yeah.
Dogs are freaking out, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, it doesn't take that much time. But if they live far away, it's like,
yeah.
That's the thing that's annoying.
That's the thing is like just chill for a second, just calm down.
Like you let them out, feed them, let them back in, and then leave, and that's all you have to do. And it's like, okay.
Dude, it's gosh, no. Oh yeah, but so you and I played different games this weekend. You played Jedi Fallen Order.
I would recommend getting it. It's worth the $60.
I'm playing Pokemon Sword. I too would also recommend. It's worth getting. Pokemon Sword, I love it. I really do. Actually, the lack of national decks, the fact that not every Pokemon's in there, I actually prefer in this case. For one reason mainly. It's because the amount of Pokemon in this game is 400. That's it.
Golly.
I mean, that's a lot of Pokemon, but considering that there are like over 900, 400, that's it. I'm actually, which is why I've clocked so many hours in the game, I'm going to fill out that Pokédex.
You're going to catch them all.
To the best of my ability, I am going to fill out that Pokédex. Now, I have no idea where you find a Mew. Because Mew's in this game somewhere. And people say, if you have a Pokeball Plus that you have not used yet, that has a Mew in it and you can transfer it. And I'm like, I'm not about to buy another Pokeball Plus. Not yet. Just like sort of deal. But no, I have clocked almost 30 hours into the game. And I have not completed the game yet. I've almost completed it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and by complete, I mean the story. And the reason I haven't is because legit I've spent multiple hours running around the wild area going like, there's a Pokemon I don't have. And then also doing max raid battles all the time. I'm legit. Servers were down for a couple hours earlier today, and I was like pissed because so I'm gonna start off saying things I don't like about Pokemon Sword and Shield. The game, of course, obviously doesn't look the greatest. It obviously is not.
Give us a graphics update.
Well, so the thing is that I want to ask you about this. Do graphics to you matter in a game? Like,
it depends on the game.
Like, is graphics gonna break a gaming experience for you?
It depends on how bad it is. Like,
because honestly, to me, the game can be butt ugly, but as long as like the gameplay itself and the core gameplay loop is fun and works and it's not infuriating, I'm good with the game. Which is where I'm at with Pokemon Sword. Let me correct this. New areas, like areas that you can obviously tell they put time and effort into, look great. Like the cave systems they've put in this game, and there's a forest later on in the game that look really cool and really nice, dock and handheld. Most of the towns look really nice. You're like, it's a really good looking game. It's just the part of the game that looks the ugliest is the wild area, and it's because it's such an expansive land. And the tree asset, which is an infamous. Yeah, it's the tree asset, and like it's not beautiful or anything like that. But like the thing is, honestly, the gameplay loop of just playing Pokemon is just it's worth it for me. Wow, you're so close to knocking over my phone.
You can only watch this on YouTube.
It's not gonna increase their numbers. No, but actually, it is kind of funny that Pokemon Shield, because everyone's sort of on the same page. It's a really fun game to play. It's just it could be better. Everyone's saying it could be better, like graphically.
They should have waited, I think.
But here's the thing.
Finish simply.
I'm honestly glad I got this because this is a great, like, my honest opinions on like the new Pokemon in Gen 8. I really like them. Mm-hmm. Like, there are a few duds. I'm not a huge fan of Sobble's evolutionary line.
Wow.
But like,
wow.
Overall, there are some really tight looking Pokemon. There's some really cool ones. And like seeing the Pokemon up in the air, like seeing them on the ground and as you're walking by them, like it's really cool. But I'm actually glad they did this because I don't think this game could have been much better without a complete ground rework. So I think the next Pokemon game, when they have more time to work it out, and now that they're used to the Nintendo Switch hardware, mm-hmm. I think the next game will be better. But this game, it seems like they pushed this game pretty hard I don't know what engine they use, but they pushed this engine pretty hard. And you know that because if you do multiplayer, if you're connected to an internet connection and you choose to play online, when you're walking around the wild area, other players are walking around the wild area. And if you're ever in an area with like more than 4 people on screen, no, it is just chuggy. It chugs.
Oh, it's like frame drop,
yeah, hardcore.
Fix that.
And
fix it.
But the thing is that honestly, as a longtime Pokemon fan, I'm more excited that there's another trainer right there next to me than the fact of like
15 frames.
Dude, it's rough. But what's also funny is since a lot of Pokemon takes place in menus and stuff like that, of sorting through your boxes, or if you're in the middle of if someone's battling a Pokemon, they're just standing there in the wild area.
Really? There's not like well, actually that's good. They don't disappear. That's good that they don't disappear.
Yes, well, and also it's completely random what Pokemon spawn in an area. So like I tested this with a guy. Also, Sam and I met a random dude at GGC who, like, we were playing Pokemon Sword and Shield next to each other, and this other dude, like, just showed up and started playing with us.
Like he
saw us playing our Switches, asked us what we were playing. We're like, Pokemon. And he just sat down next to us, and we were like, okay. But it was funny. Like him and I were in the wild area at the same time, but he saw a Milotic, and I saw like a freaking like. I want to say Bidoof, but Bidoof's not in the game. Bidoof. I wish
that sheep.
Oh yeah, Wooloo. Yeah, no, I really enjoy all the new Pokemon, and it's a fantastic game. Really enjoy it. Can't wait for the next Pokemon game, but I am going to catch all 400, and boy, currently I have seen almost 300 of the Pokemon.
Have you caught 300?
I have caught over 200. Like I think around 220.
I'll probably get Sword and Shield after I get my parts.
For your PC. Yeah. And it's a really fun game, and I'm glad I'm doing it now because there's a lot of people doing max raid battles, and I keep on hopping into their things. And max raid battles are great because each game has exclusive Pokemon. Sword and Shield have exclusive Pokemon. Yeah. But max raid battles are universal to the Pokemon servers. Mm-hmm. So let's say, for example, like Lotad and all the way up to Ludicolo is exclusive to Shield. But Sam traded me a Lotad, and I evolved it to whatever the second tier is. I forget what the second one's called.
Yeah, you could cheese that pretty good, couldn't you?
So
just restart the game like 3 times.
Well, so like the thing is that what you can do, and what probably a lot of people who have already caught a lot of Pokemon have do, is just trade Pokemon with each other, because as soon as you don't need to have it in your box for it to count your Pokedex. You just need to have had it in your box at one point. So like, for example, Sam, I traded him my Haunter to get a Gengar. And so Sam has Haunter and Gengar in his Pokédex, even though he does not have a Haunter and a Gengar.
Right.
So I bet you there are Reddit pages and Discord pages of people just like trading up all their Pokemon and just like doing all that. But I'm trying to keep my trades like legit. I'm trying to like when I'm trading, I'm doing. But for example, like Sam gave me the Lotad, and I evolved it up to the second stage. And then someone on Shield started a max raid battle with a Ludicolo as the Pokemon. I joined him and caught a Ludicolo. Or if you watch Detective Pikachu, it's Ludicolo! So, and that's a lot of things. So and also there's this one Pokemon that keeps on having max raid battles, and I have yet to catch it. I keep on joining battles, and I've beaten this Pokemon 4 times.
Lucario.
No, it's a new Pokemon, Scorch. I've beaten it 4 times, and every time I've tried to throw a Pokeball at it, it just fails. And I'm just like, thanks.
Thank you, game.
Because max raid battles, the way they work is you have to kill the Pokemon, and then after you kill them, you have a chance to catch them. But the issue is if you fail the catch, they disappear, and you have to wait till another max raid battle with that Pokemon comes up. Yeah. So, like, I've been trying to catch this one Pokemon forever, and it's just like...
Oh, no.
It died. It's like, it's gone forever, and you're like... Thanks.
And it's gone.
Thank you. Yeah, but, great game. My brain was thinking of something.
A segue?
No, not a segue.
Not a segue.
I was legit thinking of something that I wanted to say about Pokemon Sword and Shield, but I can't remember it now. Well, let's move on to that topic we discussed we want to talk about.
Yeah, I think this will be a pretty good topic.
I'm excited for this one, because here's the thing. I think I know what side you're going to be on now, but before this weekend, I could have guessed you would be on the other side.
The results may surprise you.
Am I correct?
No.
Okay, so we discussed this.
You'll find out.
Single player versus multiplayer games.
So I got this idea from a avid viewer of the podcast. His name is he's been on the podcast.
He's been
before,
on the
and we've talked about him. Monsieur Davis.
Senor Davis.
He is an avid player of multiplayer games, and he views single player games as
a waste of time and money.
A waste of time and money because you like their replay value. I guess his argument is the replay value type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is a valid argument. Mm-hmm. It makes sense.
Yes. Now we've sort of briefly discussed this topic when we discussed the abandonment of a game.
Right.
Because we briefly discussed it's better to abandon a single player game.
Yeah.
Than a solely multiplayer game. Like if a game has single player and multiplayer and you abandon it because you finished the single player, not a huge deal. But like banning a multiplayer game, we've briefly grazed this topic.
So I guess the question, I think what came up was, which one do you prefer? Which one do you prefer? And then I think it was basically, I guess, the pros and cons of both. And I thought about it, and I like both. I think both, because I feel like, other than Destiny, which, Destiny, a lot of that is single player, technically. What I mean by that is like the whole story revolves around one Guardian, but it's like everybody's that one Guardian.
I don't think that truly counts. That's like saying World of Warcraft's a single player game.
Yeah.
Or like that that's the thing. It's interesting because I know Noah Davis is on multiplayer side because again, let's just basic right out of the gate. Most, I'm not gonna say all, because there are some like JRPGs that are like 90 hours long. I'm looking at you, Xenoblade Chronicles 2. Still haven't finished it. But like multiplayer games naturally have a better value prospect up front.
Yes.
Because of how much time you can put. But the thing is, with a multiplayer game, its value comes in how much time you put into it. If you put a lot of time into the game, you get your money's worth. But if you get bored of the game real quick and pop out,
what is it like? It depends on the developer.
Yeah.
It depends on the content.
I remembered what I was gonna say about Pokemon Sword and Shield, which slightly. I'm just gonna say this. It's funny that Pokemon Sword came out now, which is a game with a fun gameplay loop, but an ugly look. Especially since Death Stranding came out not too long ago, which is a beautiful game with an arguably suck gameplay loop. And
yes.
I was gonna ask you, do you prefer gameplay over graphics? But we sort of already covered that. It depends on everything.
It depends on it just depends on stuff.
Yeah, but single player versus multiplayer.
So multiplayer can't give. Well, yeah, multiplayer can't give you the story or the feels like a single player can.
So, I'm gonna start this off because this is pretty. Anyone who's listened to the podcast long enough knows this about me. I prefer single player, and the reason why is because I like closure. And we discussed this actually last week when we were talking about Star Wars. I like there to be a beginning, a middle, and an end. And with most single player games, there are some sucky ones out there. Mm-hmm. You get a beginning, the middle, and the end of a story, and it's just like a nice little tight package. And if the gameplay is fun and the writing is the story is good, I think single player games do have a replay value, less of a replay value than multiplayer, obviously. But technically, can you even count multiplayer as replay value?
I don't think replay value would be the term. No, I think it'd be like that whole argument with $1 an hour.
Yeah, because here's the thing: Portal 2 is a game a single player game. It's one of my favorite single player games of all time. It is super good. I have completed that game's story at least 10 times, and it's because it's fun, it's quick, it's tight, it's just. Like, I like a good story. Like, every couple years, it's funny. So I had it on my 360, and I'd play it every once in a while. Mm. And then it was on sale on Steam for, like, $5. And a year ago, I finished, like, my, like, third playthrough on my PC. I was just like, yeah. It like, every once in a while, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's play Portal. And I start it up, and I play it, and, like, I like a good single-player game. So I'm curious where you stand on this, because you dip your toes in both pools, and granted, so do I. But like I make it pretty publicly known that I prefer single player over multiplayer.
So I don't side with either one, and by that I mean I like both of them equally. Because
pick a side is 2019.
Because, and this is my reason.
Pick a side.
I like competitive gaming. I like playing other people. You can't do that in single player. I mean, you could beat records,
dude. Speed runs, bro.
Yeah, you could do speed runs, but I'd rather do like FPS stuff like that.
Speed run Titanfall 2, dude. Easy. No one's playing Titanfall 2 anymore.
There you go.
Dude, rest in peace, Titanfall. I love those. I never played Titanfall 2, but Titanfall 1 I really enjoyed.
It just died.
I know. And then of course now Respawn did Return I want to say Return of the Jedi, but Jedi Fallen Order.
That too. Yeah, Jedi
Fallen Order, which is from the sounds it's a really good game.
It's a really good game.
But then they're also busy doing Apex, sort of, not really, but sort of.
Yeah. What is it?
Dude, I like I'm gonna say this only because I can only think of those 3 games that those 3 franchises Respawn has done. I think Respawn I like all their games. Granted, those are the only 3 I think of. But
they need to try and separate themselves from EA if possible.
Dude, but they can't.
I don't know if they have enough money to do that.
That's the thing, they don't. But like they really don't. They just need to.
They're such a good.
I know they're a
company, but EA I think owns them. So.
Dude, wait. Does anyone own Platinum Games?
Probably.
Because like the thing is that Platinum Games is another company that I'm like, all of your games I love. Mm-hmm. And if you don't know who Platinum Games are, for those of you listening, they are the people behind Bayonetta 1 and 2, more recently Astral Chain, and also Nier Automata. They did that.
It's a very good single player game.
So the thing, I haven't started that up yet. I'm waiting to finish, well, at least get to a point in Pokemon Sword where I'm like, all right, I can start playing that up. But like Platinum Games, they make single player games that like I've always been like, all right, I like this game a lot, and that's true for all their games. I am a little upset. They're also the company. They were the ones that were making that Microsoft exclusive Scalebound. Do you remember like the punk kid with the headphones and like dragons everywhere, and then that game got canceled and no one knows.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I'm like, dude, Is there like a vault with like a bunch of game builds?
There probably is.
And dude, they're just trying to find someone like, please take it. Nintendo's like, we can't put that on the Switch. That's no.
The Switch would
Switch would just cook, bro. But yeah, no, a good single player. Like, here's the thing in my mind: nothing beats a good single player game.
Right.
And that's the thing.
Right.
That's where I stand personally. Like, there could be thousands and hundreds of good multiplayer games, and there are, but nothing to me beats a good single player experience.
Right. There's Shadow of War, the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Game. Okay. Yeah. Shadow of Mordor, Shadow of War. Yeah. Those games.
It was basically it like took Assassin's Creed type things and like third person combat. It was a really, really, really good game, but they added like multiplayer to it. But the multiplayer was like attacking other people's castles.
It's not true multiplayer though.
That's what I think most single player games need to try and do. Incorporate some sort of so Fallen Order. People are asking for an arena mode because people just want to fight endless waves of stormtroopers and whatnot. I think another good thing would be maybe another arena mode, just 1v1s. I think that'd be cool.
So you're thinking all single player games should have a multiplayer in them?
Not like purely, but like some sort of aspect, like fighting other castles or something.
Okay,
depends on the game though.
I was about to say because like there are the games that like really don't work or don't need multiplayer. Now, actually, what are your thoughts on co-op campaigns, like multiplayer campaigns?
I personally don't like them because I think a single player game should be a single player game.
But what if it's designed around two players?
Designed around two players?
Because and let me explain what I mean by that. The example that immediately comes to mind is in Portal 2 there is a co-op campaign where you play as two robots, and it's a completely different story, completely different puzzles, and you just try to solve the puzzles with two people. So like, what are your thoughts on that? Like a game designed around co-op campaigns and single, like,
it might rely too heavily on finding another person. I guess if you do it online, but then
dude,
I don't know.
There's like I still want to do this as soon as EA gets their foot out of their butt and like decide to lower the price of this game. I want you and I to play Get Out. That game looks fun. It's the one of like two people trying to escape prison.
I don't think I've seen it. I've seen horror games with that name on it, but
no, that's a horror movie. Way Out. No, it's called A Way Out. That's what it's called, A Way Out.
Away.
Yeah, and essentially the way the game works is you play as two people. Characters' names I think are Vince and Leo. And you choose who you're gonna play as, and then the whole time you play through this story, and you're both just trying to escape prison and get back home. And so like that seems like a fun game, and I want us to play it, but EA's still like $40. But they're like, but we'll give you a download code so you can send it to your friends so you guys can play online. I'm like, drop it to 20 and maybe we can talk. But they're like, never. Yeah. But yeah, so I'm team single player all the way because nothing beats a good single player game. Because also I'm fresh off the heels of playing Luigi's Mansion 3, finished Astral Chain not too long ago. Like, I've been playing so many good single player games recently, and I'm just like,
okay, so yeah, well, we can do the pros and cons of it. So I think the pros of single player games is the devs can increase the graphics. I think they can make the graphics look more pretty because, I mean, you don't have to worry about
other player assets running around with input commands and stuff like that.
Exactly. So you can focus on the graphics that
which don't always matter, as we
yes.
Looking at you, Pokemon Sword.
They can focus on game mechanics more.
Oh yeah.
Like if it's a hack and slash, they can focus on that. If it's a
platformer, you can really get those jumps down Celeste,
something like it. They can focus.
They can tighten things up.
Yeah, they can make things polished. Multiplayer games. This is for I'll do pros for multiplayer, and then I'll do cons. I guess pros for a multiplayer game is you get to connect to other gamers. You could make new friends. You could play competitively if you wanted to, or casually. And then I guess the cons of single player is there's finite amount of replay value in terms of you could do it like new content basically.
Oh yeah,
like
well, and then you reach the argument of DLC, and if DLC should just be part of the game, or if it
depends.
Yeah, depends.
It depends on what it is.
Yeah, it depends on what it is. Like
the arena mode for Last Jedi, people are like that better be a add-on, not a DLC. I'm not paying for
a good example is Breath of the Wild DLC. As much as I really enjoyed it, it could have just been in the game.
If they would have combined both of the DLCs.
Well, I mean, it was one price you paid. It's just they didn't release them at the same time. They released which one? They released the one with just a bunch of new side quests and new items, and then like a couple months later they released like the Champions quest, which was actually I really enjoyed that quest, the Champions Challenge.
Tedious.
Dude, I don't think I finished it actually. Dude, I finished it. I really enjoyed that one. Mainly because you got to fight a new boss at the end of it. Like there was a boss that wasn't it's the shaman monks. Well, the what is it called? The Sheikah.
The little monk at the
end, the Impa Sheikah thing that's in all the shrines. You fight her, and like I was like, hey, chill. I was not prepared for this.
Chill.
Because, like, of course, I'm just doing the shrine. Nick Schulzen's like, you must die. And I'm like, what the? I'm like, just chill, lady. And I'm like, I did not prepare for this. I would have gotten more steaks. Just, like, feeding myself as I'm running away. Like, chill. But, so, the thing is for pros and cons of games. I'm going to say pro for single player and a con for multiplayer at the same time. Single player games are easier to balance.
Yeah.
While multiplayer games are harder to patch, balance, and all that stuff. Because there's so many variables, especially in a game like Overwatch. For example, how many heroes are we up to now? 30? 29? 30? 31? We have a lot.
Yes.
With so many characters, when you increment and change one thing about one character, then another character shoots up the meta, and that's not working. Like, it's so hard because there's so many different things, but in a single player experience, it's like, oh my gosh, my lightsaber is way too strong, and they're just like, all right, boop. And it's like, all right, like there's not a to quote I forget who it was on so on a panel for Overwatch 2. I think it was Jeff Kaplan said this, but it may have been someone else. They were talking about Overwatch 2, and they're like, why are you doing single player? And it's like, single player is going to be so great and because they were talking about it, and how they have all those new hero moves that are broken. It's like, these heroes, like, and guess what's the best part about all these broken, unfair moves? And he goes, what? It's like, the AI isn't on any message boards. He said that. I'm like, boom, roast.
Jeff's great.
Dude, I think he said it, but I don't know if he was quoting someone else. He's like, the best part is the AI isn't on a message board.
You can't get complaints.
It's like the AI is not going to complain on a message board. So, like, single player games are naturally easier to patch and fix. And also with single player games, I like them more because you get more of a sense of power, if that makes sense. Like,
there's a move in Last Jedi where you can, you have to upgrade it almost. You have to upgrade the move fully, but you can pull things closer to you, and when you upgrade it all the way, if you pull a stormtrooper towards you, you can one tap them by pulling them and then igniting your lightsaber in them and then throwing them down.
Like that's
stuff like that. Like you're like,
well, let me tell you. So, like, if you want to talk about like amazing experiences, Bayonetta 1 by Platinum Games, they start you off fully buffed. Like everything unlocked, and then at the end of the mission you get cursed and you get set back to square one. But like when you start off, you're like, I'm killing everything. Like you were just you were just wiping through everything, and it's like a nice tutorial for the game because you're like, I am unstoppable.
This game's fun.
And then like they start you back, and you're like, oh, there is some challenge to this game, and then you build your way back up to being like, I want. Buffanetta and just like, and that's the thing, like in the single player game, because it's just AIs and no one's gonna complain on our message board.
Don't die.
Yeah. You can make characters stupidly overpowered and broken, and have them feel like they are like, I am the king of this world. Like Sunset Overdrive for Xbox One. It's a really underrated game. It was a free game of the month at one point, and I downloaded it and played it. That game is so much fun, and it's a single player game. There is some multiplayer in it, but not even worth your time. Like, don't even touch the multiplayer. But like, it's a really fun single player game, and because it's single player and you're fighting like hordes of zombies, you have these guns that like spew acid while also exploding ice, freezing them. Like, and you just run around and you were just like, I am the god of this realm. It's like, you will kneel before me. And of course it can be challenging at times, but you're like, I have so much power right here. And then if you're playing a multiplayer game and you're ever like, oh my gosh, like Monster Hunter World, and let's say you're way overpowered, it's like, I have the power. Meanwhile, your party's like, so I just like unloaded everything on him, and I didn't even see the health bar move.
That's Destiny 2. That's literally
because Destiny 2 and Monster Hunter, both the creatures, the enemies in those games are just damage sponges.
Yeah.
And like, that was a big critique of Destiny 1, and it's carried over to Destiny 2. It's like, the enemies aren't really challenging, they're just damage sponges.
Yeah, the bosses from raids are basically, I mean, even if there are things to damage the, like, phases.
But no, it's just shoot the thing. It's just deal the damage. Meanwhile, in a single player game, you can have those really cool, epic moments that make you feel awesome. And like, I'm just thinking of great single player games. Super Mario Odyssey for Nintendo Switch. The final level to that game, the final little thing you do, I'm like, this is the greatest thing I've ever. This is awesome. This is amazing. Because at the very end, spoilers for a 2-year-old game, at the very end of the game, you capture Bowser. And like, it's funny because like, you beat Bowser, and the sort of rule for Mario Odyssey is if they're wearing a hat, you can't capture them, but if you knock the hat off and then throw your hat, you can capture them. And so like, and you think in your head like, oh, it would be fun if they let me catch Bowser, but it's one of those things like, that's never gonna happen. And then you finish fighting Bowser and you're like, whew, did it, yeah, and you're just chilling. And then, like, it just cuts to, like, the game itself. Like, just the game where you're running around. You're like, what do I do now? And you just notice that Bowser doesn't have his hat on. And you're like, yeah. And, dude, and you just cap him. And then this electric guitar solo starts playing as the whole cave you're in is, like, collapsing. And you have to run through this cave. Dude, it's like those, like, even though they're not always fun, those staged moments, like those scripted moments. That make you feel cool are just like, are really cool. And then also in Super Mario 3D World, the final battle against Bowser, you're running up this tower and you're doing all this parkour stuff, and it's programmed that Bowser is always right on your tail. Like, he can catch you if you go really slow, but if you're going really fast, he'll speed up to catch you. And at the very end, there's a giant POW block. And also, he duplicated himself. Just, the game's weird. But, like, you're at the top, and you're running towards this POW block, and, like, these 6 cat Bowsers are surrounding you until, like, you are right here. And around the time you hit it, just those cool little moments, like, where you...
Yeah, just scripted moments. Stuff that can't really happen in multiplayers.
Yeah, like, because, like, you can have really sweet multiplayer moments, but, like... And also, sometimes those multiplayer moments feel more rewarding and more earned. If that makes sense. Yeah. Like, when you get a team kill, it's like, that was awesome. But, like, that doesn't stick with me as much as the camera sweeping as I'm climbing up this tower sort of deal. So, like, I mean, I know where I stand, but...
So I guess the conclusion of this little session...
Single-player games are great. Noah Davis is stupid.
No.
Yes.
So I think both sides have both pros and cons.
But we talked about single-player more.
But... Noah Davis calling single player games a waste of time.
Calling the other one in general, on whichever side you stand on, calling the other one a waste of time and money. Is not right. Noah is guilty of this. He calls everyone's hobbies a waste of time and money. I don't know why he keeps attacking me about this for unknown reasons. Also, like, while we were recording, I just saw this article pop up. Mei Hatsume Hot Topic exclusive pop just went live on their website.
Time to buy it.
But they said like coming to select stores soon, and I'm like, so I may just order it online, you know, just go. Because my Hero wall, dude, this is the biggest wall in the room, and it's almost entirely filled with My Hero. There are 8 pops up there that aren't My Hero. Yeah, dude, there's a lot. But yeah, no, Noah keeps calling like people's hobbies, things that people enjoy.
Yeah, dude, my hentai collection, right? My
dude,
1 pentabyte. Like, come on, bro.
Pentabyte?
Yeah, pentabyte.
You're a data information systems information major. What are you?
Pentabyte.
Petabyte.
Sorry.
Pentabyte. That's a pentagon, my dude.
Petabyte worth of
dude,
stuff.
do you know how much it's funny,
yeah,
people
that's
say
1,000 terabytes.
Like that's a lot. It's funny because a lot of people don't really realize how big a petabyte is. Because it's like, all right, you know your phone here? It's like, yeah, that's gigabytes. And they're like, okay, cool. I'm like, now imagine, let's say your phone had 100 gigs. If you had 10 phones, you would have 1 terabyte of storage. No, that's not right. If you had 100 phones, you'd have... No, yeah. No, 10. That was right. For some reason, I thought I only said 10 gigs, which I'm like, that's really stupid. Why would I say that? And they're like, okay, that's a terabyte. And they're like, wow, that's a lot of storage. Like, imagine if you had 100 phones.
100 phones.
Like, a petabyte is... Well, what was it? There was something on my funny, it was like someone get caught with like...
A petabyte
of like child pornography. And then someone commented underneath it. Do you guys know how much
you understand how much a petabyte is?
Like, that is...
But it's videos, though. I'd assume, maybe.
But still, do you know how much our podcast...
8K resolution.
He has like a red camera, like a cinema grade Oh god, no, I don't want to continue this. This is a, also in case you're wondering, Pandora said, "What would you rate your podcast like on a family rating?" I gave us PG-13.
Oh,
that was the highest. They don't have an R podcast for some reason, and so I'm like, well, we're not PG, because we talk about some things that are like
big old biddies
that aren't necessarily. It was funny. I was actually thinking of our discussion from last week's episode about talking about Konosuba and stuff like that. I'm like, well, we don't talk about really appropriate things, but we don't curse. So I put us in PG-13 just to be safe, yes, because we're like, hell, hey 12-year-olds, do you want to illegally watch us and feel edgy?
Yeah, dude.
Dude,
so I guess.
Yeah. So what is your fun fact of the week, Huber?
I'm about to bust a myth, actually. So myth busted for this.
Myth busted. Our new Mythbusters segment.
When you get stung by a jellyfish, don't pee on it.
Why not?
That's a myth.
Why not?
It's a myth.
I need science to back this up, my dude.
So peeing on it would the pro people say is peeing on it what makes it like the pain go away. It doesn't make the pain go away.
Really?
You're just getting urinated on. That's all that's happening.
It's like the pain's not going away.
You're just sitting there with your legs all stung. Someone's peeing on you. It's not going away, man.
No. I wonder. Hold on. I'm gonna look up if that's true.
I know Australia has like an emergency unit just for like jellyfish because they have the box jellyfish. We can kill you in 12 seconds, 12, which is insane. But
dude, Australia has a bunch of animals that could kill you.
We should just nuke Australia, dude.
Dude, just sink it. No, don't nuke it. Just sink it.
Yeah, if we nuke it, they might mutate. So
that's what I was about to say. I'm like, have you not seen what happened to Australia in Overwatch? That's the whole story of Junkrat and like Roadhog. Like I think someone actually did nuke Australia, and it like irradiated everyone, and they became pig freaks and pyromaniacs. I don't know how to search this up without having my FBI agent worry about me. Does pee cure jellyfish sting?
Yeah, just say, can I pee on my jellyfish sting or something?
All right, let's see. Let's look up. This is the part where we look up what Huber said to make sure it's true or not.
Fact checking.
Gosh, don't you love it when it's just like a whole article that's just filled with text and nothing's bolded or anything, and you're like, ugh.
just tell me the answer.
Just give me like the answer. Fact or fiction? Urinating on a jellyfish stain. Jellyfish sting. Back in 1987, all friends from the blah 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 in every Oh, they were talking about Friends. Remember seeing a documentary that advised urinating on a sting to ease the pain. So it's Friends that popularized?
I guess so. I didn't
know. Hold on. I'm trying to see if it works or not, though. Float near many of the world's beaches. Some jellyfish skin cells are singing cells along. Tentacles can be so long that swimmers might not see. Can we,
just keep on scrolling down.
The pain is instant, says Joseph Burnett.
I would assume. Why would it not be instant?
Sting.
Yeah, why would it not be instant?
I'm a professional dermatologist.
What in the world? What kind of statement is that?
The pain radiates from the sting site and starts to itch, burn, and throb as it blisters. Scratching it, though, can make the pain... Scratching it, though... That's too many commas in that sentence. Scratching it, comma... No, scratching it, comma, though, comma, can make it...
Yeah, only commas are only though.
No, it's... Dude, you know,
scratching
can make the pain worse, comma, because rubbing activates the nematocyst, comma, which releases more venom. Dude, that sentence had like 7 commas in it.
My man,
jellyfish stings are painful, but they are rarely life-threatening for most. Such interesting. Yeah. Depends on the jellyfish that gets you. Wait. Depends on what jellyfish gets you. Wow, yes. That's such a professional. Those 24 hours, though, could be uncomfortable without treatment. Yeah. The final paragraph starts off with but what about urine?
Golly, dude, this is like the old bait and switch.
It contains salts and electrolytes. I can think of many other things I'd rather have on me. The concentration of salt and other compound people have in their urine changes, he explains. If it is too dilute, it will be similar to fresh law. Okay, so if you have potent pee, it works. But if you have weak pee, it burns more.
Oh, golly.
Other liquids and compounds, however, can help. Most things in North American waters are fixed by vinegar or 5% acetic acid. More stings from other species. Yeah, so if you're a man with strong pee like myself, you can go cure people. You can go pee on people. And
walking the beaches, peeing on people.
It's like, sorry, I saw you got stung. It's like, I haven't been in the water yet. But if you have weak baby pee like Noah Davis for thinking multiplayer games single player games are a waste of time and money, then Noah Davis, you are not helping anyone. You're gonna make their pain worse.
So Canon, where can they find us?
Dude, remember that joke we made a couple episodes back, Kanan's Funko of the Week?
Yeah.
We're not doing that this week, but it's tempted me just like walking over to that wall and go, Kanan's Funko. No, but they can find us on YouTube at the Scatterpot Podcast.
Yeah.
They can find us on...
No. Yes.
I'm like, I know this. I'm the one who runs all this stuff.
Fake.
You can find us on iTunes, Spotify now.
Yes.
iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, everything else at Scatterpot Podcast. And you can find our Instagram at Scatterpot_podcast.
We haven't done this in a while, but I've been David.
Have we not? I've been Kanan.
And this has been the Scatterpot Podcast. Come on down.